A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to this edition of Lunchtime News here on Mtv Sports with News First. I'm Shahin Jurangpati. Let's take a look at your headlines this afternoon. Cases filed against 13 persons, including MP Mtv Silva, in connection to the killing of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. Appeal filed on behalf of youth facing death sentence in Qatar. Pakistan hands management of strategic Gwadar port to China. Now for a comprehensive look at those stories. A special committee has been appointed to resolve issues pertaining to the registration of Title Act. The 8-member committee appointed by President Mahinda Rajapaksa is headed by President's Counsel Arthur Samarasekara. The committee also includes President's Counsel W. Dayaratna, attorneys at law Nihal Piris, Chaturika Vijayasinghe, Shanta Ranawaka and Chandrani Ranawaka. A representative from the Bar Association of Sri Lanka and a representative of the Director General of Mining are also in the committee. The committee was appointed based on a request made by a group of representatives from the BASL during a meeting with the President. The Presidential Media Unit said a report containing recommendations for an amendment to the Act is to be submitted within 3 months. An appeal has been filed at a court in Qatar against a death sentence handed to a Sri Lankan youth in Qatar. International media reports say that the appeal had been made by the Sri Lankan embassy in Qatar. Labour Relations Officer at the Sri Lankan Embassy in Qatar, WAM Wansekara, said that approval had been given by the Bureau of Foreign Employment to pay the court expenses for the appeal. 22-year-old Venkadasalam Sudeshkar was given the death sentence on the 31st of December 2012 for stabbing and murdering an Indian national also employed in Qatar. The relatives of the Indian national have agreed to pardon the Sri Lankan youth on blood money amounting to 3.5 million rupees. Farmers in Trincomalee were severely affected by the recent torrential rains. 100,000 acres of paddy fields were cultivated this season. However, the heavy rains experienced in the recent past had ravaged these paddy fields. Farmlands in Tangiranwete, Aila Adi and Wan Ala areas in Kenya were damaged after the Kantale tank broke its banks. The farmers point out that this was due to the ineffective systems used for the flow of rainwater. Making headlines this afternoon, the Attorney General has instructed for cases to be filed against 13 suspects, including parliamentarian Mtv Silva, in connection to the killing of Bharata Lakshman Premachandra. Assistant Superintendent of Police of the Criminal Investigations Department, Shani Abesekara, had informed the Colombo Additional Magistrate Prasanna Silva regarding this today. He had informed court that cases will be filed against the suspects under Section 146 to 300 and 296 of the Penal Code. Assistant Superintendent of Police CID Shani Abesekara also said that Attorney General Palita Fernando had decided to freeze 7 suspects who were taken into custody in connection to the killing. Moreover, the magistrate announced that the norm of transferring a case to court number 6 once charges have been filed against the suspects should be followed at this instance as well. The Attorney General has instructed, Before we head into more local news, here's a look at what's coming up later on the news. In the meantime, the Ministry of Health has decided to release doctors and specialist doctors to lecture at the science faculties of universities. Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, said that the agreement was reached at a discussion held with the Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education. Dr. Jayatilaka added that an understanding was also reached to develop the lecture units at teaching hospitals in order to train a higher number of students. When News First contacted the Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education, Dr. Sunil Jayanta Navaratna, he noted that both parties have agreed on the said points. A demonstration is currently underway at the Adigama junction of the Anamadua-Putlam main road, demanding that the Anamadua-Adigama road be constructed.
Residents are carrying out this demonstration, demanding the authorities to renovate the 7-kilometer stretch of road from Adigama to Mahakubuk Kadavala. Villagers from Adigama, Punavitiya, Kombagasvava and Mailavava are engaged in this demonstration. Our correspondent said that a foundation stone for the construction of the road was placed on the 16th of January last year.
2 persons were injured when a lorry toppled close to the Boo Oya in Vaunia at around 5 this morning. Our correspondent said that a lorry transporting cooperative goods from Colombo to Vaunia had toppled and a large number of goods had been damaged. Still in local news, a group of officials will be sent to Singapore to analyze how Inland Revenue data is computerized. Commissioner General of Inland Revenue Mallika Samarasekara said that the Inland Revenue database in Sri Lanka is outdated. Samarasekara said that although audits were conducted, audit selection cannot be done due to an outdated computer system. She said that this causes errors in the system and would also enable people to engage in fraudulent activities. The Commissioner General of Inland Revenue said that the first batch of officials will be sent by the end of February to Singapore to analyze the computer systems used in Singapore. The second batch of officials will be sent to Singapore in April. The Chinese are renowned for their gymnastics skills. People here in Sri Lanka were treated to a burst of colour and artistic talent as a group of Chinese gymnasts took to the stage in Colombo. This event, which depicted the cultural heritage of China, took place at the Nalumpukuna Mahinda Rajapaksa Theatre. A large gathering including Minister of Culture and Aesthetic Affairs TV Ekanayaka attended the event. Sports news. Manager of the Sri Lankan cricket team Michael de Zoysa confirmed today that former Sri Lankan Test cricket captain Mahela Jayawardena will not play in the upcoming Test series against Bangladesh. Issuing a release, Sri Lanka cricket said that Thilan Samaravira will replace Mahela in the Test squad.
The NCC game played last weekend. Mahela held the catch off Charit Jayampathi's bowling at second slip, and unfortunately in taking the catch he broke his finger on his left hand. The injury is such that he requires surgery and he will be out of the game for 3 to 4 weeks, so he will miss the Bangladesh Test matches. He may be fit in time for the one-day games.
In more sports news, it's basketball. Jerry Buss, who parlayed a $1,000 real estate investment into ownership of the Los Angeles Lakers and won 10 National Basketball Association championships, has died at the age of 80.
Jerry Buss had been hospitalized and treated for cancer, but the immediate cause of death was kidney failure, according to his assistant Bob Stainer, who was cited in the NBA Post. Buss bought the Lakers in 1979, and under his ownership, the team became one of the most valuable and popular franchises in professional sports. The Lakers won league championships during their Showtime era in 1980 and early 90s with teams that feature some of the sport's marquee names, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. The team had more dominant years in the late 1990s through 2004 with superstars Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Two of Buss's adult children are executive vice presidents of the franchise. Jenny Buss manages the business and Jim Buss oversees basketball operations.
Now in football news, a visibly irritable Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger denied reports he is in negotiations with the club over new contract and says he is annoyed at superficial analysis of his team's recent form.
Arsene Wenger had more on his mind than a looming clash with Bayern Munich yesterday, as the agitated Arsenal boss snapped over reports saying he had agreed a 2-year contract extension. The Frenchman gave a tetchy news conference at Arsenal's training ground, treating questions with a mixture of sarcasm and aggression and refusing to discuss the merits of a Bayern side who was strolling to the Bundesliga title. Today's Champions League last 16 first-leg clash with the Bavarian Giants comes in the wake of Arsenal's humiliating 1-0 defeat by second-tier Blackburn Rovers in the FA Cup, and Wenger was clearly rattled by media reactions to that setback. Asked about a newspaper report of a new contract, Wenger said,
"That's the wrong information, and there as well, I think I worked for 16 years here in England, and I deserve a bit more credit than wrong informations, but I have only one intention, is to harm. And if it's good information who comes from nowhere, it's all right, but this is the wrong information who comes from nowhere, and this is completely wrong." I look at you, not because you give information. I don't know if it's you. I don't know where information comes from.
Me?
Yeah, why do you look at me?
Because it's your press conference, it's not my story.
Okay, oh, thank you. I just thought you have given this information out.
No, I'm looking at you because it's your press
Okay,
conference.
thank you very much.
And that's our lunchtime news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shahan Jirangpati. Have a wonderful day of you. Goodbye and take care.